Welcome back, my gardening friends, to a very dreary evening, and this episode will be revealing the last two tubs of rocket potatoes. These were sown, planted on the 6th of April. These are the last ones in the grow room. That's Tia, and I've managed to keep all my potatoes. So these were in the grow room. I moved them up onto the vertical gardening, and they've done really well. So basically I should have potatoes all year round now, because when I do my next reveal in the beds, the permanent bed, then hopefully we'll find some potatoes. Then we've got this product review. We'll talk about that shortly, but for now we've got a mail call and a little look in the greenhouse grow room. So as we walk in the door, we've got the grow room. This is sealed. This used to be in my garage before, and that's that sorted. Any heat generated in there comes into this section here, and that then filters through into the greenhouse grow room. But of course we're not doing much growing at the moment, so this is where I've been bringing some of the plants on, some more of the bunching onions. These are the white Lisbon, some more successional sowing of lettuce. I haven't sowed as many, maybe one or two more coming up here, but these are old seed. So it's always worth sowing the seeds, and if you don't get anything, you don't get anything. Now these are my purple sprouting claret F1. They're coming on nicely now, and they'll need potting up soon. My saved peppers, they're just starting to get flowers on them now. I will stop watering soon, and that will encourage the plant to fruit a little bit better. Again, another one of the telepathy cucumbers failed. Now last year they did really well, and the Carmen didn't. So there's the Carmen, and they're the fruits. Now that's probably got bigger than what I'd normally pick it. I'd normally pick them in between the two. Don't let them get too big, because we get plenty of them. So even though you get one variety better one year than another, always sow two different varieties, because you never know what happens from one year to the next. There's two of the trailing toms. These are the ones that we overwintered. We take the fruit, slice it up, put it in compost, leave it there over winter in the polytunnel. There's a tomato in the back there. That's the champion dwarf stock, and there we've got one of Phil's bloody butcher, and it looks like we've got a tomato ready there, and they're just coming on nicely. I noticed the top ones have got some blossom end rot, and I didn't put the eggshells in these buckets. First mistake. And here's the melon, the Emire F1. You can see I've been watering down that corner so the stem doesn't get damaged and wet, but there's a few plumping up. I'm not sure, first time growing melons. I've let this grow up and around, and it's going mad. Should I some of these ones I've been taking off on some of the plants and some leaving. So what are your thoughts on the runners on the melons? My tea bags, look, they've got wet through. I'll try and get them like that, but some of these but we get what we can out of them, but they unfortunately they got damp and wet this horrible weather. Water gets into the little container that we use. These been to the well, I got the wife to get me some potatoes. These are little baby potatoes, and they're jazzy. I've done these before over the winter, and we've eaten the really small ones, and there we have the rest. So we'll be bringing those on. I've got a few rocket, as you know, the rats took my other sarpo seeds, so we'll be using those. Here's the tubs for the vertical gardening, and I've been trying to pot these up and then take them up the allotment and plant them up there. I'm bringing them on in the tubs in the greenhouse grow room now, because they don't like being outside, especially the conditions, the wind that we've had. It's just been horrific. So we're kicking them off here now, and they're doing quite well. Mail call, Joyce. I'll put the channel name in the bottom, from the Netherlands there, and I was struggling to get some giant cabbage seed, and she found something that may be an equivalent for the red cabbage. So it was too late last year to sow those, so I'll be putting some of those in at the same time as my giant red cabbages. And talking of giant red cabbages, here are the seed pods. Now, I was complimented on how fat they were, but a lot of these haven't actually got any seeds in them. Very few indeed. Can't do it one-handed. But let's have a little look at those. So even though it's not going to focus very well, but those seeds are very small compared to what you'd normally buy. I think that's gone a little bit blurry, so I shall have to just pause it and get it focused back. But hopefully I'll find enough seed there to keep this variety going that's no longer available. And then we've had another mail call from Alan at the Dawn Chorus plot. He's sent me a jar of his own honey. He did that. We met up at the Malvern show last year, and he gave me one and gave me one then. So it was enjoyable then, and a few other seeds, like a mixed lettuce, but a special variety. Some of his own saved sweet peas, some of that, some shallots, and I think they're the walking onions. But I definitely want to try some shallots for the first time, so I can do my own pickling, so there'll be enough there to at least make one jar up. But I do need to save some as well, but once I get to know the variety, I might be able to purchase some for myself. So thank you again for Alan and Joyce for those things that you've sent me again. So these are the rocket potatoes. They're not overly productive, but I don't add anything into them. They're the pipes that I fill up with water to keep them plenty of water in. The pipe goes in this side, so there's no hole. There's one there because they're set at an angle, so there's a water catchment in the bottom. And there we have two holes, because I was finding I was watering and the water was coming out there, because that's a porous pipe. Be able to reuse these buckets for something else, and the compost. I need 5 more seed potatoes that size. And the skins are like new potatoes look as well. I need 5 more potatoes to give me 12 again. But that's very productive to what I normally get. So they've done well. A few little ones in there. We enjoy the potatoes. So we're saving those. Definitely don't get this many normally. don't think there's only one potato in each one, I'm absolutely sure of it. But does it matter whether there's one potato or two? I'll be starting my potatoes off on November the 1st. I'm going to do some Christmas potatoes soon, but I will be starting the overwintering potatoes first of all. First year I did 1st of January, last year I did December the 1st. This time it's going to be November, because I'm going to start my giants off in the greenhouse grow room. I've had some offers of some more lights, so if they arrive, I'll be able to space them out a bit more. I'll show you something else in a bit. Because I've been decorating, we've got loads and loads of polystyrene, and I want to do a bit more insulating with it. I don't like throwing it away, you just can't do nothing with polystyrene. But there's quite a few sheets there, and be able to do a bit of insulating. It's a shame now, these are the rockets and these are my last potatoes. I only started off with 12, so throughout me revealing these at home here, and I think there was 2 lots up the allotment, we haven't done too bad at all. So yeah, I think that's my best haul, and I'll be looking for another 5 of those to make the 12 again, and we carry on. Very rarely I'll buy seed unless it's a new variety I want to try. I've had quite a few different varieties sent me, so they're all in the actual permanent bed. So let's have a quick gander at these. Now there's 4 people last year using this rake. This is now about 8 years old, and it's started to show its age. Now, like all plastics, they're probably treated, but always keep them out of the sunshine. And I did mention if anybody would like to buy me a landscape rake, and 4 people put some money forward, which has covered the cost for this one. Now it's 48 tines. This is going to be mainly used for my leaf mould, autumn leaf collection. It's absolutely ideal as you rake. Then these actually stop the leaves from drifting over. I find it really good. The only thing I would say is that the stale, when it sits in there, it could be machined better so it fit better. It did wobble a little bit. Very similar to that, just wasn't seated properly. Now I've had a look online because I've had this a wee while, and I can't find the 48 tine ones, but if you search Amazon landscape rake, and they've got all sorts, but there's the yellow and this now. Whether they've changed it I don't know, but this must be from the same manufacturer or supplier, and I highly recommend it for anybody that's using it in and around the garden. And thank you very much for those 4 people, which I've already thanked. Did really appreciate your very generous kind pennies, or pounds should we say. The bird's talking, but will he carry on talking now I'm talking? Now everyone says that he sounds exactly like me. When people walk down the drive, he starts talking, and people have had conversations with him or her. Not sure whether you're picking that up or not. So I'm looking forward to getting these purple sprouting broccoli in a little bit later on. And I've got plenty of plants, but yeah, I've got plenty of room once I get those onions out, which are doing really well. And again, thank you to Alan, thank you to Joyce for those nice gifts. I used to be ever so good. I used to lay them out and dry them all out, but I don't. As we've spoken about before, the bags are, most of the bags, 98% of the bags are full of plastic. Yes, they're biodegradable in about 10 years. So don't be tempted. Always empty the tea bags out. Yes, eggshells as well. If I've got enough, I'd put those in my lunchbox. Nice size. Anyway, mumbling on. Happy gardening to you all. If you've liked the content of this video, then please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and for future notifications, there's a little bell you have to ring. Now you either ring it so it's you're only a subscriber, or you ring it so that you get regular every notification. And I upload my videos every Sunday and every Wednesday, if I can find time. Take care, my friends. Till next time. Ta-ra for now.